boom, blowing rock. I'm really struggling, and I'm just looking for help.
I've had advice given to me.
So I can't believe Quigley was like that. I mean it, Jimmy. I mean it, Jimmy. I can't see you in that light. But then again, there were guys I grew up with. You'd never believe it. And I mean, they were gentlemen, but...
Know someone who does?
Yep.
828-262-1.
All right, guys, here we go. 4, 3, 2.
On WAPA.
Good morning. Welcome to Recovery Talk, a show that tries to bring hope and help for hurting people. My name is Jim Quigley. I'm your host. It's a beautiful Thursday morning here in the high country. We just were discussing during the opening. It's supposed to get to 64 degrees today, right? So that's a nice breath of fresh air up here. It's been a little bit chilly. But we want to give a quick shout out to our official show sponsor, who is an auto shop here locally in town in Watauga County called Freedom Auto Tech. And, for those of you that first time hearing about Freedom Auto Tech, I want you to know that it's kind of like it is a dual purpose shop. If you have any kind of a motor vehicle, and we all know we need maintenance, things break down, and we need to get it fixed. So Freedom Auto Tech is a professional shop that will fix your vehicle, but you can rest assured that and know that the profits from this shop are actually going to support the ministry of Freedom Farm, which is a 12-month inpatient recovery program for men. So you get two things done at once. You get your car fixed good, well, and you get a warranty even if you buy parts, 2-year, 24,000 mile, labor and part nationwide. So that means if you bought a part from Freedom Auto Tech and it breaks down and you're in Arizona, you call up the warranty and they send you to a shop and they fix it for free. So you get your car fixed, and you also are helping a good cause at the same time. If you need your car looked at, why don't you give them a call, 828-355-4434. That's 828-355-4434. So this morning, I'm proud to have my friend Patrick Pasley here, and we were talking out in the parking lot before coming into the studio here. And, I told Patrick, you've kind of slipped under the radar with me. I haven't asked you. You've been kind of around because he's been one of these guys that just doesn't create any waves. Say good morning to everybody, Patrick.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. So Patrick has been with us 8 months now at the Freedom Farm. He actually is currently helping out at the thrift store, driving the truck. If you have purchased anything or have donated anything, you may have met Patrick. He's the smiling guy that comes, and everybody says he talks a little funny. And I asked him to make sure we get this right. Patrick, it comes to us via Charleston, South Carolina, and this is something I've kind of learned in a couple years. But there are two specific, very deep-rooted cultures in Charleston: the Geechee and the Gala culture. And there's the way they talk, the accent they use, and the slang they use. And so during the show today, if you're like, man, that guy's talking funny, it's because he grew up in the Geechee culture, and so he just has different nuances of different words. But I asked him, just talk slow, because I've gotten used to you. We can understand you. And but it's fun because I actually find myself using some Geechee slang throughout my day. Whatever. I'm always saying that now. Whatever. So Patrick, man, been here 8 months, grew up, born and raised in Charleston. So why don't you tell us what life was like for you growing up?
Well, as a kid, it was pretty. I had a pretty decent life as a kid. A big family, came from a big family. I grew up in Charleston, and at 10 years old, moved to Jones Island. That's when I started getting a little sidetracked from what I had going on, missing my family probably down in Charleston. Me and my 2 sisters and my 2 brothers, and my mother and my stepfather, we moved. We got a trailer on Jones Island. That's still in South Carolina. We got a trailer out there. I have 4 stepbrothers that would come by. Actually end up moving in after 4 years, after about a year or two. Actually moved in.
So when you're saying big family, you ain't joking. This is 4 of you and then 4 stepbrothers?
It is actually 4 brothers and sisters. Including me would be 5 from my mother, and then I have 4 stepbrothers.
Okay, I'm horrible at
So
math.
that's 9.
9.
Yeah.
So 9.
Yeah, 9 that's in the house. Yeah. Yeah, so
God bless your mom,
there
man.
you go. Yeah, so and at the age of 10 I went to a school called Mount Zion
This is in Jones
in
Island?
Jones Island. Yes, yeah. And I met up with some guys out there at the age of 10. They was a little older than me. And they, this guy, an older fellow, which when I was 10 years old, introduced me to weed, I can't say weed.
Oh, yeah.
To a weed. Pot, whatever you want to call it, and he was actually just selling it, distributing it, and found out I was like a good candidate for him to help him start moving his package. I mean, moving the narcotics, whatever. He was actually on cocaine at the time.
So at 10 years old, that early in life, you get
Yeah.
introduced to marijuana.
Yeah, no, actually before that, before I moved up there, like 7, I got introduced to marijuana.
Uh-huh.
I had an older cousin in the city, in Charleston, that was already introduced to it. So at an early age, we would sneak out, smoke cigarettes, and get some brown paper bag and roll up some weed that he would bring around, smoke it.
Smoke it with brown paper bag.
Yeah, that was harsh.
That is harsh.
Yeah, so if we didn't know what we was doing, so I got introduced to it real early. But at the age of 10, I met this guy on Jones Island. Still sneaking out of the house, going to visit him at the age of 11. He actually started putting the package in my hand. I started learning how to bag it up. My brother then was in a higher grade than me, so I would show them how to bag it up and let them carry food bags, introduce their people to it, and maybe make a couple of dollars at the time.
So at 10, 11, you're already selling drugs.
Yeah. So, and 12, I turned 12 years old. I was in a house in Jones Island, and I was actually, I went to see the guy that I was, had the weed for before our curfew that night, and he got me a half ounce of marijuana, homegrown at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And showed me how to bag that before I left. I went home, got me some Jewel Sweets at the time. We were smoking Jewel Sweets. That's the cigars with the wood tip.
Okay.
Yeah, it smells, supposed to smell good, but I guess when you smoke it indoors, really strong.
Yeah.
So I'm in a room one night, all my brothers and sisters sleeping, and I decided to cover up the vents in my house. And like a big man, I decided to smoke a cigar at the time and maybe bag up some weed so I can give it to my brother and maybe have some for when I get out of school to go get somebody to call me. At the time they had beepers or whatever. and I got a beeper. I had a beeper at the time.
I had a beeper once.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm old enough to have a beeper.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you have the gold chain on your beeper?
No. I just had the clip.
The clip.
Just slip it on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm in the room that time at night. That night, and I cover up the vents and cover up. I thought I covered up the under the door. I'm in the room, and about 12 o'clock, my mother. I smoking a cigar. My mother came into the room, and this was when it first started.
You were 12 at this time? Or
Yeah.
12 or 13? Or?
Yeah, about 12.
12.
Yeah.
So your mom busts in, you're smoking a cigar and bagging up weed.
Bagging up weed. They throw the cigar behind the bed and throw the weed behind the bed with everything. And she came and asked me what I'm doing. I said, I'm sleeping. I'm sleeping, what's going on? So, she started to search the room at the time, found the weed, found the cigar. Once I walk out the door, I realized that obviously I didn't cover the top or end of the door.
Uh-huh.
And I guess that's where the smoke seeped out at. And she decided to carry me, she got me dressed that night. She got dressed, took me to the police station with the weed, and I got to the police station, and they actually flipped out on her about the situation, about bringing me and traveling with the weed. We got down there. She talked to the guys for a minute, and before we left, they asked her if she wanted me to go back home. She signed
So
me
your mom
up.
tries to do like a good parental thing, brings you to take responsibility to the police officer, and then they flip out on her.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably inappropriate. But
Yeah, they told her, yeah.
I mean, I understand what they were saying. Like, you probably shouldn't have traveled with it, but I mean,
yeah.
you should have called the cops there. But
Yeah.
still, I mean, your mom's trying to do the right
Yeah, she
thing.
was actually heated at the time. Didn't think about it. Just get me to a safe place where she thought would have been safe. And she took me down there. Talked to the police. I talked to the police, and they asked me a few questions, which I denied and whatever. And before we left out the door, the police, one of the officers told her, we could have locked you up if we had stopped you, and before you got here, we would have locked you up, and that made everything went bad from there on.
You're pretty threatening your mom.
Yeah. So after that, she just looked at the whole thing in a different way, and she started to tell me she didn't want no money from me and all this stuff right here. But I was selling newspaper at the same time.
Right.
Me and my brothers.
Well, we're coming up on a break here. I want to stop there because, man, we're in a good part of the story, and we will pick it right back when you stay with us. Okay. Okay. So, Aisha just said, I just told that story to her students. I remember being in the car with her trying to bring you there. Aisha.
See, mothers overreact.
Ooh, mama. Aisha?
Yeah.
See, mamas overreact a lot, and then they get in more trouble.
They can see you right now.
Oh,
They're watching.
there you go.
Josh, call me this week, man. I'd love to have you on the show, man.
Heck, I remember Abraham Morlow. He went on to become an Olympian at Watauga. He's a native Liberian. He was on the Liberian national team at the turn of the century. When he was a high school senior, he screwed up bad. Took a buddy's car without him knowing it, drove it and wrecked it, totaled it. I remember his mother was so mad, and she's standing there with him in front of the coach because he suspended him indefinitely for this. That woman didn't hesitate. She raised her kids. And that woman standing there, and every time Randy's trying to say, well, Abraham, we'll get this worked out, she goes, no. Bam!
No,
slapped him right in the face. Just kept slapping Abraham. I mean, you could hear those slaps. Holy cow, man. And I'm watching this from a distance, and she took him off. And I went up to Randy. I'm like, what the fuck? And he goes, She is a disciplinarian, man. That woman ain't gonna take no crap because apparently her husband had walked out on her and those kids. So she was gonna take it by the belt and she wasn't gonna play. That woman, I mean, I talked to him later. I said, dude, how's your face? And he goes, man, he goes, my mama can hit.
Oh, yeah.
He said, man, my mama can hit.
Oh, yeah. My mama saying weird, boy. Hey.
Like I said, it's...
Yeah, that mama, yeah.
Oh, yeah. What was it that Bill Cosby said at one time? He said the worst beating he ever got in his life was because his mother kept saying she was sick and tired. One day he was like a preteen and he thought he was a wise ass. And she goes, I'm sick. He goes, and tired. He goes, I don't remember much after that. She beat the tar out of his ass. I mean, man, you don't play with a woman when she gets that mad.
Oh, yeah.
No. I mean, my grandson's gotten it. He's gotten belted a few times, thinking my daughter's little, can't do nothing to him. He made the biggest mistake one time. She nailed him, and he goes, I didn't feel that. It didn't hurt. She goes, oh, really? She beat his ears back, boy. And he comes crying to me, and I'm like, what did you expect her to do?
Oh, yeah.
Told you she'd kick your rear end, boy. That's your mother.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she gets mad at me when I watch him. I'm too easy on him. He's a kid. Got 1 minute, Mr. Jim.
Okay. Crystal down the mountain a little bit says you're doing a great job. I said her name wrong. Aisha? Aisha.
Yeah, it's Aisha. That's right. Yeah, so we got a girl that signed with Catawba Valley from Statesville. I've seen her play. Good volleyball player. Her name is Aisha. She's a real good volleyball player. She'll help them out. She's a very good athlete. Jimmy, you've got 30 seconds. And then, Jimmy, you'll have a good 9 minutes to the top of the hour.
Okay.
All right, Jimmy, 20 seconds. I'm going to turn on the mics at 10.
You're doing a great job, man.
Appreciate it.
My mics will be turned down, but they are hot at 10.
Welcome back to Recovery Talk, a show for trying to bring some hope and help for hurting people. And, just trying to share stories like we have here in the studio today, Patrick. I know that for me and my experiences, I've heard people growing up and whatnot, you start to relate. I got a lot of people right now talking about moms on how, they're all posting on Facebook about moms. So anyway, sounds like you had a wonderful mom, and I'm sorry about that part of your story. But real quick, let me give the shout out to Freedom Auto Tech, the show's sponsor. The show gets brought to you by Freedom Auto Tech, and we give a little advertising for the show because the show, the Freedom Auto Tech, actually goes to support the ministry that both you and I found our freedom from substance abuse in, which is called Freedom Farm. So Freedom Auto Tech is a auto shop here in town that's run professionally. We have a professional certified mechanic. We have professional equipment, professional invoices. Everything's professional. I have to say that because a lot of times when I tell people that Freedom Farm has this shop, they think that we have a whole bunch of safe house guys, which are like first phase guys, like coming off drugs, like working on your car. That's not what it is. It's an actual shop, and you come in there and get your car fixed and fixed well, and know that the proceeds, all the profits, go back into the ministry of Freedom Farm. So it's a revenue stream to help support men in recovery. So give them a call if you got your engine light on or something, 828-355-4434. That's 828-355-4434. And there's Todd putting up the phone number and website on Facebook if you're watching from there. Happy Valentine's Day from my mom. I love you, Mom. Anyway, back. So your mom tries to do the right thing, tries to kind of get you. I mean, she's tried to scare you with the law. Like, this is a serious deal, son. You're 12 years old. You should be the, and it kind of backfires on her, right? So tell us, pick up from there. Where are we at now? You said things started to go kind of south from there.
Yeah. It went after that right there. After the incident with the police officer, with the when she taking me to the police station, didn't work. I guess I didn't think of it at the time. I guess it was a leeway for me. A way, and I saw my mama. I just feel she don't. I guess she didn't know what to do, and steady me sitting back on it. I got the package checked that night. They kept the package and it kept the weed. So I got home. Went to bed for a minute. Got back up early. Got dressed for school. Got out of school that day. Right after school, went back to see the guy. Told him what happened, and got some more weed. My mama, was keeping a close eye on me, so I got a low slicker in what I was doing.
You just said low slicking?
A low slicker.
A low slicker.
Yeah, what I was doing. She at the time, she didn't know I had the beeper. She didn't know a lot of stuff. So at 12, 13, when I coming up to 13, I started with the guy who I was selling the weed for. Started taking me strip clubs and all kind of other stuff, partying, hanging out with the older group, and I got introduced to a lot of people.
So you're 13 years old. You're going to strip bars with your drug dealer, guy supplying you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my mom don't know that part. Day.
Well, now she does.
Boy, she gonna keep. Yeah. So I started and got a low, big head, whatever you may call it.
You're the man.
Oh yeah.
No, I don't know too many 13-year-olds doing that kind of thing. So.
Oh yeah. So and then after that right there, I just started really running with a really tough crowd. Some other guys, actually my brother's age. My brother's I'm 36. My brother's 38. Some of the guys was like maybe his age, maybe a little older. I'm running with them now, and I had an older brother. I run with older than my brother, who I just told you about, was 38. He's 40 now. I ran with him. And at the time, after I started getting introduced to strip clubs and all this other stuff, actually just started at nighttime. I would end up taking my mama car, going back home, going back to the city, doing my little things at night while everybody's sleeping.
So you're stealing your mom's car at this point?
Oh yeah, just put it out just like that. Thank you, Joe.
I did the same thing when I was 15. I stole my parents' car.
Oh yeah, but it was an everyday thing. So
I got pulled over once and talked myself out of it. I was drunk.
Oh yeah.
Can't believe I'm 15 years old.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, that's one thing.
I couldn't believe that. Still to this day, I can't believe
that.
I was 15, no license, and I saw a cop. I was driving the car, we pulled into a neighborhood, I saw the cop, and I hurried up and got to my friend's house, jumped in the passenger side, he ran in the house, and I pretended like I was kind of like half asleep. Cop came, knocked on the window, he's like, what's going on? I was like, well, my friend and I were and he forgot something, and I was like, he's, 16, and the cop just believed me. I think he just didn't want to get me in trouble. So anyway.
That's cool.
Yeah, so.
I guess that wasn't.
No.
No.
You know how I finally got caught? I was doing burnouts in people's lawns.
No.
And I broke the motor mounts on the parents, and they brought it to the mechanic and put it up on the thing, and they saw grass all impacted underneath the car. I got caught. Yeah. So anyway, sorry, it's not my story, it's your story. So you're way on your way, and you know what? A lot of people listening, this is one of the things about the addiction lifestyle. You don't start off in it, and it's like just taking your life over as far as the bondage of the substance itself. It's the lifestyle, man. I mean, there's this nuance. You you're accepted. You know, people think highly of you. I mean, it's all a bunch of BS. I mean, you and I both know it. I mean, but you know, it's just very, very addictive. If you're not finding acceptance and you're not finding your identity, you know, in a healthy space, you know, we would say, you know, that has everything to do with Christ. But you know, you're trying to find it somewhere. And man, you know, when you get plugged in like you did, I mean, it's very, very. It's got its clinches on you. So you're 13, 14. Stealing the car, going to strip clubs, selling drugs. What about school?
Actually, I did pretty good in school up until the 10th grade.
So you still maintained school to some degree?
To some degree.
Okay.
So that's 10th grade. I failed, I was taking 10th and 9th grade classes because I didn't pass. You had to pass so much classes to get to the 10th grade. And I didn't made it right then. But at the age of 14,
you're just one of those perfect examples of how people that maintain lives of substance abuse for a long time, usually very highly intelligent, even though they may not make good grades or fail. It just takes a lot of brain power to continue doing what you're doing. But look, we're real close to a break, so we're going to pick up that story. Stay with us, folks. We'll be back in just a minute. So when he's doing that, it means 2 minutes, 30 seconds. That's what he's doing. So I didn't know if that was freaking out. So we're halfway through, man. So we're still at high school. We're 15. So this next group probably take us through, because you're 36 now. So you got a lot of catching up to do, and you have kids at some point, and so kind of like talk both. Like, you're doing great, but talk like, because I know that you partied and whatnot, and then you maintained good jobs too. Like you were cooking in a bunch of restaurants in South Carolina, right? So there's that, I don't know how that fits in with the party lifestyle, and then the being a kind of a chef and all that kind of stuff. So we want to hear a lot about that.
Did you have a lot of double crossing going on growing up?
Yeah.
A lot of double crossers, yeah. You got to watch that too. You gotta really watch that. People you think are your friends.
I won't say a lot, man. I had
Gotta watch
I guess one time when I'm really big into the streets. I had, I guess, cause me myself, I understand you don't borrow nothing from nobody. You don't have to worry about type. I'm always my own man. After this guy put me on or whatever, I took off for myself, and only one time, I mean, like the older guys on the block says I wouldn't get nothing from them after I moved back down to the city. I said I wouldn't take nothing from them or be fronted nothing. I guess they look at me like something different since I so younger and doing good. But I had one time when they got into a couple of my people that I had was putting on heads, and it went sour a little bit, but I maintained it. So I mean, it wasn't really that much double crossing. We was very tight. As long as you doing the right thing, holding your forth, man, you was actually good. So.
Yeah, you got to be careful. There's a lot.
I saw a lot, but I was with the
lot of I mean,
the good. I was with the older crowd and the good side, but I saw a lot of things though.
See, I remember Ricky Perzader got set up, and it turned out bloody because Perzader was one of those. Up here, I ain't going to jail.
Yeah.
I'm just going to shoot my way out, and he tried to. He got cut down in 4 or 5 different areas. He didn't stand a chance. The minute he pulled it, he caught 2 bullets in the back before he even knew what the fuck hit him. Died right at the door of his car. Yeah. I'll never forget, I was in a bar, and the one girl that knew him said, "Mike, how are you? Hey, what's going on?" We sat and talked, and she started tearing up, and I'm like, "What's wrong?" She goes, "Perzader's dead." I'm like, "What?" He got blown away last night, man. He got set up. I mean, that shit, fuck, man, that stuff. Paul, the guy that I felt so bad for in that whole situation was Paul Russo. So I'd gone through high school with him, and Paul quit school his senior year in September. He starts school and quits 2 weeks in. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? I've got a different lifestyle, and I'll never forget he got in with the wrong crowd. And this was during the disco era of the 70s. And he had to be dealing with somebody that was dishonest because got all these fancy clothes, had this big fucking Buick Electra, which was like a year old, and this is like 78, it was a 77. And he's like, man, what do you think of me now? And I'm like, man, Paul, where the fuck are you going? Do you even know how good these people are? I'll be all right. And he showed me a fucking piece. I'm like, dude, you're fucking crazy. What's wrong with you? And all of a sudden, he was in on that, didn't double cross Paris Ader, but he was with him. He didn't get shot. Luckily, the cops showed and he got arrested. He went to jail. I mean, what the fuck? Think. A lot of people don't think. You think you got the world by the balls and you turn around, you don't have nothing. And the people you think you can trust, what was that old mafia saying? The faces you know will betray you. And that is oh so true. Because you may think this guy or this gal is up and on board, and they're the ones that stab you right in the back before you even know what hit you. And you're like, what's going on? Coach, you got 19 seconds. I'm amazed you guys are alive. You? How the hell have you? How did you not? How are you not in a state penitentiary? 10 seconds, guys. Here we go. Mics are hot.
Welcome back to Recovery Talk, a show that tries to bring a little bit of hope and help for hurting people and understanding for people that are really struggling out there. We have Patrick in the studio with us today telling us his story, but before we get right back to it, let's give a quick shout out to the show's sponsor, Freedom Auto Tech. Freedom Auto Tech is a local shop here in town, mechanic shop, ready to work on all your vehicle needs. And you can know that as you're paying to get a good professional service done to your car by certified mechanics, that parts actually come with a 2-year warranty. You're also at the same time helping out a recovery ministry, Freedom Farm, which is a 1-year inpatient or residential recovery program for men here in the high country. All the profits from Freedom Auto Tech go to Freedom Farm Ministries. So give them a call if you got your check engine light on, or you got a little knock under the hood, or need some brakes. So give them a call, 828-355-4434. It's 828-355-4434. So I was telling Patrick off the air, it's like, man, we're only 15 years old, and we're halfway done with our time. So tell us, man, how did a couple of comments here on Facebook. Absolutely. The addiction to the lifestyle, it's almost as powerful as the substance itself. So where do you go from there, my friend? 15, how does it progress?
At the age, 14, back at 14, that's when I started, I was my summer year before I went to high school. I actually went back to the projects and stayed with my auntie for a while. And
so you left Jones Island, went back to...
Just stayed in there with
my
auntie. And when it was time for school that year, I was really, I everybody grew up, and it was just even better than I remember when I was younger. So, when I went back to school, 9th grade, I was thinking about it all the time. I made it through 9th grade where I started. That's when it started going up and down. I got introduced to some guys and some other guys in Jones Island, which was very popular guys, football team, everything like that right there. I know that I couldn't get weed or anything that they need. I started getting introduced to them. Started running with them, missing class, doing other stuff. At the time, they was doing it, and 14. That's 14. So 15. I decided after 15, I got this was my first time ever failing or doing something. Failing in school and getting a bad grade. Which actually I passed half of my class and failed half of the class, I guess. So I was taking 9th and 10th grade courses at the time, and I figured since I was number behind, screw it.
So you stopped going to school?
I got in some trouble in school. I went to my mama. They kicked me out of school. First time ever getting in trouble in school. They kicked me out of school. I guess my name was not running. Not getting talk about, people talking about me or whatever. So first time ever in school in life getting in trouble. I got a choice with the principal and my mother to either go to like a boarding school, yeah, like that right there. And I actually I went to it. I went to it, well, at least for an hour.
You went to a boarding school for an hour?
Yeah,
I don't know if that's the way it works.
Yeah. One morning, my mother, I was supposed to go to the school. My mother, we went to Walmart, and I was upset, thinking I'm all grown and whatever.
There it is, the whatever, it came out.
Thinking I'm growing. So my mama carried me to Walmart, and I was, we had to wait all red. It was winter time at the time. I had, and my mama tell me to get out the car and go into the store so she could fit me some uniform. I would never got out the car. She went in the store. She was just mad at me, so tired from working and everything, just for whatever, just going in the store, got me some uniform. I figured it was too tight. Put it on, got onto the bus. We went to the bus station where the bus could have picked me up, which is from Johns Island to James Island. And the school I was going to at the time was in Charleston. I forgot the name of the school. So when I was getting onto the bus, I had this gold chain on, and they told me I couldn't wear gold at the time. They took my gold chain. I was not upset that I had to go to the school. So I took my gold chain off, gave it to my mother, and that just made my whole day went bad. I got to the school, and it was like an army school. They want us to do push-up and all this right here, and I wasn't doing it.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing no push-up or nothing. I want to go to school and learn and just get on through. So we in the school as the other group doing push-up. I being hard-headed and I doing it. I guess I wasn't doing it the right way. Maybe didn't finish. I forgot what really happened at the time, but they sent me to the principal office, called my mother. And they give me 24 hours to decide if I'm going to stay with the school or what I'm going to do, because that's my only chance of getting back into regular school. That night, I believe, is when I took off. I forgot how I got back downtown that day. That night.
So you left in the night?
Yeah.
You left the boarding school?
Nah, they actually sent me home that day when my mother had to come to get me. She tried to talk to me, telling me I need to do this.
Oh, okay.
School.
So then you left your mom's house?
I left my mom's house that night.
Okay.
And went back to the city. They got up that morning looking for me. I wasn't no place to be found. And they started looking for me every night for years.
For years?
Yeah, we had a big family, so I would stay at my auntie's house sometime. people that I knew from off the project, they had houses on the project, so I would stay in these houses when it's getting too hot at my auntie house. Just to get away, I would see them ride past. I would tell them, boy, tell me my mama coming, somebody in the van. We had a big blue van at the time because my brother was paralyzed, my oldest brother. Was paralyzed, so we would see the van ride by, and I would duck off into the cut, back up one side of the building.
So how long did that go on for?
It went on for years. I was 14, turning 15. At 16, maybe went back to the house once or twice on Jones Island. And at 16, 15, I went back to the house. I got my permit. Doing good for a little while. And went back to doing what I was doing. 16, by 15, I went back to the streets. 16, I came back for a little while, and I guess it was close to my birthday time. My mother was having a 16th sweet, happy 16th birthday party for me, and I didn't show up. They gave me a car for my 16th birthday before my birthday, and that just took off right there. I'm on my own now.
Mm-hmm.
So the same car I was taking that night, I got that car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So by then 16, I didn't came back home for my birthday, and I guess after I heard about it from people, I mean everybody, my cousin, everybody was there. It was really a nice party, but.
So they had a party for you, and you didn't show up for it?
Yeah,
Okay.
A surprise party, but
Surprise,
Yeah,
I'm not there.
Yeah.
And you're basically living on the streets, you're 16 years old.
Yeah.
Have been for a while. Your family sees you, but you're kind of doing your own thing.
Do my own thing.
Okay.
Yeah, so, after that right there, 16, I just got really into it. Started running with a bigger group, and we started getting into some trouble. I got locked up at 16, charged as an adult, and got released. Slap on the wrist. They dropped the charge, gave me a slap on the wrist, let me out, and went back to doing what I was doing. 17 years old, I got locked up again. I think I was 17. No. That's 16. I got locked up, and I got charged as an adult. It was years later. I got locked up again and I got on probation. But from that time right there, I was doing good. I was just downtown. My mama them, I guess, stopped looking for me. I'm growing. I'm a little older now. They know where I at. My family, them keeping in touch. That I'm downtown. I'm staying at their house, keeping in touch. And as long as I see if they feel a little bit more comfortable to go to sleep, which probably not. That's what I'm thinking. And
Well,
yeah,
we just went on commercial.
He's going. I didn't want to interrupt him. I
Yeah.
want him to keep going.
This will be the
Oh,
final
you'll
time.
have, when you get out of here, you'll have a good 13 minutes. Pick up where you were at.
Yeah.
Man, dude, you are a badass. I don't know how the heck you're still alive.
Teddy Pasley. That's what you're. Teddy? Who's that?
that's my sister.
Oh, I think she's trying to tag her. That's what it is. She's trying to tag her so she can see it.
Man, dude, I'll tell you nuts. Wow.
Yeah.
They know they can watch it later, right?
I didn't tell. I just tell my sister and this. But afterwards, cause I want my cousin and boy on my age, they on my age, and I'm gonna tell them afterwards, man. Me and my sister and boy gonna tell them, boy, but I just saying I want to. This is my first time, so I don't get blown.
You're doing great, though. You're doing great.
Yeah, so I'm gonna let them. I'll talk.
You let them see it later.
Yeah.
After it's over.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't want the pressure of them watching it live,
now,
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
man, so,
I hear you.
Yeah.
Well, you're doing a great job, dude. Like I said, I can't believe the way you're living. Golly, dude, man, that is God, that balls of steel living like that.
They
Damn.
say every blessed, man.
I mean, and this guy, I can't believe half the crap this. Every time he comes up, I'm looking at him like, you gotta be kidding. Jim Quigley? This man?
Yeah, buddy. It was
I would never believe it, Jim. I swear to God, if I didn't know you, I'd say that's a pack of lies you're saying about the man.
Yep.
Mics are hot, guys. Here we go.
Welcome back to Recovery Talk. We're in the final stint here on the show. We're going to get right back to Patrick's story. Sorry if you were listening and got cut off a little bit. We just kind of didn't want to stop him. But anyway, real quick, Freedom Autotech is the official show sponsor. And Freedom Autotech is a shop here in town ready to give you all your service, all your mechanic needs. But also understand that if you're a customer there, you're also a supporter of Freedom Farm Ministries because all the profits go to support Freedom Farm Ministries. Give them a call if you have a car problem, 828-355-4434. That's 828-355-4434. Patrick, we're at the last 12 minutes or so.
Okay.
We want to get most of your story out here. I mean, you probably could, sit around and talk for a while, but so you're basically, your family stopped looking for you. They've left you. You're old enough now. You're making your own life. You got a car. You're living that lifestyle, but you're not even 20 years old yet. But you're 36 now, so as best you can, try to give us a snapshot of about 17 years old to 35, 36.
Okay.
Take us through that because
right.
a lot happens.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
At 17, actually 17 to 20. That's when I had my first daughter. Was pretty well. I mean, I'm one of the big guys on the street right by then.
Big guys meaning you're selling, people respect you.
People,
right.
Yeah, some people up under me. However, my people was really doing good, eating well, and taking care of what needed to be taken care of. Like 17, I done got introduced to some guys on Jones Island. So I'm back and forth from Jones Island to downtown Charleston. One of the older guys, I guess they got introduced to cocaine early on Jones Island. Introduced me to bunk, which is cocaine and weed together. I started messing around with that at an early age, still maintaining what needed to be taken care of. Everybody eating well, doing good for themselves. Didn't let it bother me. 20 years old. I had my daughter. I was 20. She was born in October. My birthday was in December. And things really started to hit home for me. Let's start through, and by then, I was thinking I was well enough on the street where I could just leave what I got right here, and just go home and be with my baby mother at the time, my child's mother at the time, and...
So you try to break from the street and be like a family man now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm working a job. I'm actually went and get a job. I worked there for about a couple of hours. I was working, I had a couple of jobs before that day, but it was summer jobs. But yeah, I actually went to work for a shipyard, Dayton Shipyard in Charleston.
So you try to go legit, try to do regular...
Yeah, for the most part. I mean,
Yeah.
I had some people on the street where I won't have to be on there too much. I don't have to show my face too much. One night I was at work. I was working the graveyard shift, which is from what's that? It's 7 to 11, 7, something like that right there. I know it was overnight.
Yeah.
5 to 4. That was 12 hours, something like that. So on lunch break, I went home. My big child's mother at the time was in the house sleeping. My child was just born a couple of weeks, and I walked into the house, and the house was smoking. She burnt up a thing of noodles, a pot of oodles and noodles. So that right there, I never went back to work after that right there. That just got me away from work. Now I can be at the house and do what I need to be doing on the streets. That's my first daughter. And by then I was not introduced to cocaine, and I wasn't sniffing, tooting it, and I was just smoking it, rolling in cigarettes, caviars, and I just started to have a lot of back and forth with my baby mother at the time.
So things start to go downhill. You're using cocaine a lot more than you were before. So that's progressing.
Yeah.
Fighting with, you're not working.
Yeah.
So.
Back and forth. Now, downtown in the city, now these guys are smoking cocaine and doing the same thing that they was doing. So I would have to go in Jones Island. I would smoke cocaine and weed. Down there, I would just smoke weed because they didn't smoke, drink, party, and everything like that right there. In the cities, go up there. There's a whole totally different scenario. Whole different, yeah. So and 25. I was really 21, 22 to like 30 were my trouble years.
21 to 30 trouble years?
Yeah, I got arrested a couple of times, misdemeanor stuff, but it just seemed like once my mama told me, once you get into it, it's hard to get away from it.
Sure.
So I started getting arrested, some minor stuff. I got locked out one time, unlawful carrying, got on probation for that right there.
What's the longest time you ever spent locked up?
6 months.
Okay.
6 months.
So a lot of in and out, a lot of trouble here and there.
Yeah.
So 30 to 35, what's life like?
30 to 35. 30 to 35.
Or 30 till you came here. We got, for the matter of time, we got 5 minutes. So 30 to the time you came here.
It was really slowing down on partying. Me being by myself. I may go out occasionally. A lot of sitting around, either with a free meal or me by myself doing. That's when I've been sniffing cocaine by then. Sniffing cocaine and just hanging out by myself. Really.
So you went from being the man, one of the man on the block, to now your drug addiction has progressed to where you're sniffing cocaine now, and you're isolating. You're just by yourself.
Just by myself by then. I had my second daughter by this time, and we was really good together. And me and her mother, we are still cool with everybody, all of. But I had my second daughter, and I was really just messing up a lot, sniffing cocaine, and I kept my job during the time, kept my ties to the street real royal. Nothing I would have wanted for, I couldn't get. And 30, I just ended up start being by myself, and I get tired of being. I guess it came to a point in time. I had my first son at the age of not my first son, my only son. At the age of he's 3 years old. I'm 36. At the age of 33. Yeah, so I had him at the time, and I just started. I mean, that's when my mom always been praying for. Watching you, I can't wait till you have a boy. You're gonna change. It's gonna change everything, and it actually did. I started to realize stuff I never realized or wanted to realize, and everything just started to hit downhill. I started to feel bad about me doing cocaine. I started to feel bad about this right here. Like, what am I doing? Well, how I get in this position?
So 3 kids, still a great mom, still speaking life into you, isolation, and just you. It sounds like your whole life you've thought bigger picture in life. You've kind of like had to look at it, and you're just looking at life and saying, "This is terrible."
Yeah.
And something needs to change.
Yeah.
So how did you got to finally a point, and then what happened? What brought you up to Watauga County?
I started asking around, questions, joking around with the fellas I'm getting high with, telling them I think I'm gonna end up going. I mean, that's all our thing. We get too high up and no sleep, man. Shit, they going to rehab. So one night out of the blue, I just went and talked to them guys. Tell them, man, I talked to my mother, and they think I might go to rehab. We started talking about it. The first thing was, man, shoot, do that for right, man. You can do that for right now and come right back to it, man. You know, and that was the stupidest thing I ever heard. Why would I do this and then come back to it?
Right.
Yeah, so, man, go ahead, do what you got to do. And after that right there, I realized, yeah, this is not my party.
So you're done.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not the...
And you just wanted help.
Yeah, so, I talked to my parents, my father, everybody. I talked to them, tell them I saved up enough money. I got my first month paid, and they helped me out the whole way through. And I talked to my father-in-law, and he told me he might know some programs. He told me he'd been to Freedom Farms back in the past, and it was a very good program. He gave me the number. It took me about 2 months before I called. One day I just said, I was sober at the time. I said, yeah, I'm going to do it. Now I'm going to call. I talked to Todd.
Oh.
And that's it.
Yeah. Couple minutes.
Okay, I spoke with Todd, and he asked me why do I want to come up here, and I guess I didn't understand the question too well. I really got ticked off about the question, like how you be. He asked me some question. Sorry, Todd, but yeah, if I did sound like I had an attitude, I was being sober that day, just ready to come to you. So I apologize. Yeah, and my father-in-law told me about the program. I made the call, and
here you
a couple
are.
of days, and yeah, a couple of days later, okay, I'm out. Yeah, I am.
And you've been here 8 months, and we run out of time, and I wish we had more. But you've done everything we've asked you to do, and looking forward, your plans are you're actually wanting to move the family up here.
Yes, I am.
So you got a few more months with us. You're making plans. You've got a new job in the works, I heard. You've really helped us out a lot. But Patrick, man, I really appreciate you coming in and sharing your story. You know what? If anybody listening, you want to come on Facebook, you can ask Patrick questions because we ran out of time. But Mike, thanks for running the board today. Patrick, thanks for coming in, brother.
No problem.
And you know what? Come back next Thursday, and we will bring the show back to you. Thanks for being with us.
Great job, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Great job.
You did great, man.
Yeah, you did a hell of a job.
Well, man, my nose is running.
Yeah, mine too, a little bit. I guess I can go call a family. Look on Facebook. I'm gonna look first. I'm see why.
You did great, man.
Yeah,
You should be proud of it.
yes, sir. Yeah, man.
We had fun, we.
Every step forward, I am proud of it, man. So I mean.